All right. It's been a while since I've made a video. I saw Metazoo Menace mention me in one of the content creator videos that he made. I was like, oh, okay. Maybe I am one of those. So I thought I would follow up with the state of Metazoo in 2025. So we're only 4 days into 2025, and it's a little chaotic on the Discord. I did just pick up the sample growth from Fossil, and pretty excited about that. Growth is my favorite card. For those that don't know, this is a weird thing to talk about, but I was always a proponent of using this card in in basically every deck in Legacy Metazoo. A lot of people thought it was a little cute. Just draw 5 cards though for 2 forest, and after Prismora and all that other good stuff, it was just about doable in every deck. So if you're still playing Legacy Metazoo, try to include one of these. I was really keen on the sample. I thought, oh wow, this is one of the few sample cards, because sample cards are just busted. This is one of the few sample cards that has the same text as the actual card that they printed. Well, they made one big change here. I don't know if you can tell, but it's 5 per spellbook instead of 1. So yeah, draw 5 cards 5 times. Kind of crazy, if you could imagine. But I wanted to talk about the state of Metazoo, where we're at with things right now. I can kind of... Man, I need some cards to flip through while I talk to y'all. But the main issue that I have right now is just the communication. I think there's a lot of exciting things coming. Q1 2025, we're in it. Metazoo's coming. Meta 2's coming. I don't know why there's all this infighting. Why can't we all just get along? I think the big issue with the infighting right now is that a lot of people feel burnt, and there's this whole event HQ thing going on. For those that haven't listened to my podcast, I do a podcast called Stacking the Deck. It's on Get 'em Games. It's another YouTube channel. I try to separate my channels just because I want the content on my PB Magna 4 channel to be more about me, and then maybe even more so about Metazoo, whereas the content on the Get 'em Games channel, I want that to be more marketing focused. The goal for that channel is supposed to be marketing services for TCGs and tabletop games. Your mileage may vary on that, but anyways, just the whole thing with this Metazoo Meta 2 situation is a lot of people feel salty that playtester cards and NFT cards and uncut sheets were being liquidated on the Evend stream. Now, I think that's interesting because Evend it was Friday of maybe last week, I think, where they were liquidating all these products, and some people naturally feel really upset that they have not received product that was owed. And to get the story straight on a lot of this stuff, there was a lot of NFT holders that, for Andy-related reasons or not, let's just say that, never received their NFT cards. And it's not just because they were negligent, they didn't redeem it in time. And I kind of take umbrage, fancy SAT word there for you, with the fact that we kind of attack people it's the same thing we did in Metazoo 1, guys, where we attack people and their real experiences and just saying hey, that's not real, that's not how it happened, when they're the ones that in fact received the brunt end of that. So naturally, I think we should just listen to each other a little bit more and understand hey, where we're all coming from, instead of just denying other people's experiences, which is way easier to do, and confront them and move on. Meta 2 is the next big thing. I think we do need to have that come to Jesus conversation, and I think that's something that would be in Meta 2's best interest, to just come out and make a statement. It could be a kumbaya situation, I don't know, but even if, let's just say this, okay, I'm gonna be frank, nobody in these bankruptcy documents expect to get nothing from Meta 2. All right, whether or not they owe you anything or this, that, and the other, or you're entitled, I think that's beside the point. You just need to understand at this point, if you get something, cool. If you don't, whatever. But what Metazoo inherited is the baggage of this former company. And when you see products being liquidated on these event streams, it's naturally gonna build ill will, right? To come out and just make a statement, whether you think they should or shouldn't, I think is beside the point. It would take very little effort to do. And that's something that you would see Sorcery or some of these other continuing Kickstarters handling things in maybe a little bit more, I don't want to say unprofessional, because Metazoo hasn't really done anything unprofessional either. Like, in all honesty, if I was receiving all this dead product, what would I do? I would liquidate it. I would get rid of all of it. And the way that liquidation often works, I used to do liquidation when I was in high school, liquidation.com. That's how I got my eBay store started. And you would buy and wait. And some of the things that you received and wait were highly desirable items, and sometimes they weren't. It's the mixed bag. It's gambling. It's how you would buy these things in bulk. Mountain Boomer. What a boomer. With that, you have these so-called grails that people really would prefer not to have seen hit the market, because they felt, and by felt, in a lot of cases, actually properly owed those items. There's playtesters that I'm aware of. Still not sure if I'm held to any specific NDAs or anything of that nature, so I'm not going to speak at length at it, but maybe hypothetically there was some playtesters that never received all their product, and seeing some of that hit these auctions or streams on whatnot, it's not really a good feeling. So I just want to kind of get that out of the way. Don't deny other people's experiences just because they haven't happened to you. The whole I got mine and too bad for them mentality is really like what turned me off to a lot of Metazoo towards the end there. I think a lot of us just became self-cannibalizing instead of uplifting each other and saying, hey, look, that's really unfortunate that happened to them. Let me vocalize my experience. Sure, why am I speaking on these things? I got, the things that I was owed for the most part. Well, I just feel like it's worth mentioning. I don't know. People are so quick to dismiss these things. It just doesn't really seem fair to me. Do I place that fault on Metazoo specifically? No. I think Charlie's doing a great job with the company. One of the big things, and I mean, with what I can tell, I like the way that, I personally don't think they should have a Discord, but I like the way it's being run. It's an open forum. The negativity shows me that they're at least taking some stride in the bannings and stuff like that. Metazoo Legacy went through, they just started banning people left and right. I appreciate open dialogue, freedom of speech, all that other good stuff. I mean, there's a troll in there right now just trying to stir the pot, and it's really unfortunate that people get baited by the trolls. It's like, again, I'm maybe a boomer when it comes to the internet and things like that. I've been around since I remember early 4chan and stuff like that. Just don't engage with these folks. That's the best thing you can do on the internet. And to that respect, I think Metazoo's doing a great job not getting baited by these guys. And they want to get banned. They want to be banned, and they want to go and say, hey, Metazoo's already banning people. This game is shite. So they're doing the right thing on that. Now, I do think the people that are actually truly fans, they want to buy the product, promote it, love it. I don't think it would hurt to make a statement, even if the statement's something people don't want to hear. For the most part, we are adults. You just say, hey, look, we needed to liquidate this. We spent $2 million on this. We want to recoup some of our funds. Essentially, this is our Kickstarter to get this new game started. And a lot of people would understand that, and they would advocate for that message. Now, by not making a statement, people will continue to assume the worst. They can analyze the optics. They can say, well, they sent this stuff to the liquidators, and there's all this legacy product in there that was otherwise coveted, and Charlie's a collector, and, he understands the value of these things. Maybe he doesn't have a lot of faith in the product. People they break up the jump to conclusions, Matt, and just kind of assume the worst. So, again, does Metazoo need to say anything on it? No, nobody needs to do anything realistically, but to show a modicum of empathy for some of your audience that has otherwise felt burnt by the legacy company, which you've now inherited, to say that, when you bought Metazoo the IP, you bought the ill wills that came with it, the sins of the father, and to deny that, to say that's obfuscated by the fact that, oh no, we're a different thing now. It's not one-to-one. Okay. To go around saying, oh, well, that's, this is Metazoo and this is GameCubator. They're two separate things, but then have the same thing at the same time. That's not really the way people think about things. So I don't know what I'm getting at. All I'm saying is just be a little bit more communicative on these things. Metazoo, Legacy Metazoo, always had an issue with community management. It was just, it was non-existent, right? There's no comms structure. When we talk about marketing, they may have done some marketing right, but there was no real retention. I could go into the marketing talk over and over again. Why isn't there a landing page? I've said all this stuff already before. At this point, they have a plan in mind. They have a strategy, hopefully, and we're just going to see it play out. But I don't like seeing the community just attack each other. It's just kind of not cool. Like, we've all been through this together. Start shouting and fiending for ban these people. It's just not a good look. That's all. It's just not a good look. So, I don't know. Everybody's just trying to sell some of their bags and say that they've got the moral high ground. I don't think anybody is. Metazoo's always had a bit of a community problem. We've done historically a horrible job. And there's bright spots in there, but a horrible job of understanding and recognizing what other people have gone through. Prior to the closure, it was about attacking the players at the Dark Tower. They were the reason. They should never have got that money. It's their fault. It was the playtesters. Playtesters never should have got playtester cards. Why should they get playtester cards? They devalued the main set. All these things are really non-issues. When it comes down to it, it's the decisions of the company. So instead of just attacking each other, we've gone back to this infighting, or we've gone back to this infighting instead of looking back and being a little bit more reflexive about the companies that, we care about. A lot of that leads into my thoughts on Cryptid Camp. I know a lot of people hate Cryptid Camp. I'm not paid to say anything nice about them. All I can say is that they've actually put out a product. It's a nice product. However you feel about Bailey or whatever, that's beside the point. I wish we would kind of get away from this like cult of personality between the Charlies and the Baileys and the Mikes. It's like, who cares? These guys are just running the company. The one thing that everybody should care about is just the product. Do you like what's being put out? I've come to terms with basically all the things that I buy. I stopped buying Metazoo for a long time. As you can see, like, I just bought a sample and I'm still buying some stuff, but I'm okay with this legacy stuff not being playable. I'm okay with Metazoo even being a dead company. I've come to terms with the fact that I like to collect Metazoo, and I really like old and legacy Metazoo. I'm still willing to give Meta 2 a chance, but I don't know. Hopefully this rant video hasn't gotten too long. All that's to say is, like, we just kind of need to treat people a little bit better. I've got tons of legacy Metazoo stories that I don't know if people really want to hear or even if that matters, but the amount of infighting I'm seeing right now is just like really bumming me out. And yeah, the liquidation streams, the whatnots, the Baileys, just the salt content. We're talking about trading cards here, guys. This is like really silly stuff. The fact that I'm making this video to be reflexive of that, I'm spending my own time to talk about, essentially a dead card game and what might happen to it, is silly in its own right. And be skeptical of the things that I say too, right? Like the ultimate goal for me is I like to offer marketing services for some of these TCG companies. So am I going to go out and burn bridges and talk trash? No, but I'm trying to offer, real insights on things that I'm observing within an industry that I care a lot about. So yeah, I suck. Just attack me. Don't attack these companies yet. I mean, they haven't really done anything too atrocious. It's just there's a lot of feels bad at the way things are being handled. But touch grass, maybe play a card game, actually play it, and you might feel a little bit better. I don't know. If this video sucks, make sure you throw me a nice thumbs down. Tell me my forehead looks big, or share what your favorite color is. Thanks, guys.